But everybody else on the panel, there were four other people on the panel. They trashed him to no end. They ad hominem him endlessly, which I don't understand, but I guess he deserved it for whatever reason. I guess if they have a history, if people have a history with him, it really shines. The history really shows, and it's not good.
Well, what did he say on the broadcast?
What?
What did he say when you were?
Oh, he didn't say anything to me, and he people just take what he says and think they turn it into insults, and I don't understand why. But
I was watching a modern day debate the other night when that was doing. It was like, and I'm in the chat room going, okay, what all else fails, name calling, and that's about all I saw the whole time was a bunch of name calling.
Yeah, well, that's a sure sign of frustration, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And it's understandable because of the nature of the subject. So, I don't know. You got to understand that this is the nature of the subject. It's going to be confusing. You're going to get frustrated. And if you can't handle that, then I guess you got to go elsewhere. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I can't see the...
What?
Are we live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have been for a little bit.
I'm alive. Are you alive?
I'm alive.
Alive.
As far as I can tell.
It's alive.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who's in the chat today?
If I'm not alive, this is the worst simulation.
Well, thank you.
Who's in the chat today?
We got Critical Cripple. We got Morton.
Morton?
Morton. Yeah, Morton's here.
What's he doing here?
We got Hopswatch.
Yeah.
We got
Hello, fellow Dane.
We got Mr. Paul Camish. And we got Ricardo.
I know Ricardo. I think he's a mod for Shannon Q, aren't you, Richard? Ricardo, I mean? I think he's a Shannon Q mod. Anyway. I like Shannon Q.
I like her. She's a smart cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it just because she pisses off the one who will not be named.
401 asshole, or what was it?
Asshole 104.
Oh, asshole 104. I got that backwards. But so see, last night I had a question for Jill, and it had to do with the problem with all the different denominations of Christianity and the contradictions each of them hold in respects to their own religion. And Jill doesn't seem to see that as a problem. And it's definitely an issue,
I would say so.
Yeah, but he's describing it as not an issue, and it is an issue because he went on afterwards, after he had explained what he explained, he went on to actually describe the differences in the doctrines between different branches of the religion or sects or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, dude, I didn't say anything because he was just talking endlessly, and so I didn't get a chance to say, hey, you're now describing the differences. You're describing the issue at hand. And I didn't get to say that to him, but what are you gonna do?
Just let them talk. They bury themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He started digging the hole, and then he jumped in it, and then he quickly buried himself. So I don't know. They're all. It's like a simple. It's simple. A lot of the questions are very simple, but they have to tap dance around the answer and not actually give the answer. You know, they run around in circles around the answer and never really get to the answer, and that's where the frustration comes in. And that's where the people say, "Oh, you're being wholly dishonest." And actually, I think that they're just being as honest as they can. And if it comes off as though they're being dishonest, that's their position, and that's I don't know how else to describe it. But anyway,
Yeah.
see, I'm basically I'm angry, an angry atheist, and I'm trying to work through that, you know. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult because I want to lash out. You know, when I hear the things that go on within the religion, when I hear these things, I just get, I see red, you know, and I can't fathom why people would treat others like that. And then I have to check myself. I constantly have to check myself. And, you know, it's tough, man.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe you should become come on, what's the word? What's the word?
Bird?
Bird. It's a word. Bird.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to go.
Well, I didn't read your mind.
What's the word, amiga?
Atheist?
A what? Pantheist?
No, ig. I-G. Igtheist.
Ichthyist, yeah.
Aren't
I'm
those,
familiar with that term.
those are the ones who just don't care about religion at all?
Oh, well, I do have
Apistivist.
Epistivus.
Apists.
Apistivist.
Apistivists are people who just don't use faith at all.
Yeah, I guess I could be considered that because I don't use faith for anything really. The faith that is described by Christians, I don't use that faith. I've never have. I don't understand it either because it's a contradiction. It's you know.
Mark Twain said, faith is believing what you know ain't true.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that's the contradiction. How can you believe something that ain't true? I guess people do all the time. And
But I don't think you can consciously believe something. Like you can't make the conscious okay, my brain is funny. You can't consciously pick or make a decision to come to, a belief. In other words, you have to be presented with something, all right? And over time, your brain accepts things, and at some point, you will get to a level in your confidence of what you've been told that is true. You can't pick when that is. Your brain will automatically, you get to a certain threshold, and everybody's threshold is different. And when you hit that threshold, voila, you automatically believe.
Yeah, that's inductive reasoning. You're inducing the conclusion.
Okay, so critical cripple is saying the theism is the idea that the question of the existence of God is meaningless because the word God has no coherent and unambiguous definition.
No coherent and unambiguous.
Yep.
Yeah. I go along with that definition. I'm pretty secure with that definition, but I don't know if I can say that I don't think it's useless. I think it's useless to use it as an agency, as to prescribe agency to this. You know what I mean? To give things agency, attach agency to things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can justify attaching agency to things, but just because you can't figure out what it is, so you attach an agency to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I.
Yeah, but think about this: if you didn't have, a lot of time to think about these things, if you were just out for survival, all right, just surviving day to day.
Yeah.
Your brain is going to attach agency to a lot of things, especially if you don't have answers for it.
Well, you'll make up answers over time. I think
over time, right?
Because we're humans. That's what we do. You know, we want the answers. If we don't have the answers, we'll make them up to our satisfaction. You know, regardless whether they're true or not, and just in order to just appease our own curiosity and I think that's what we do. But I could be wrong.
Oh,
now again, that's inductive reasoning. The closest you're going to get to the answer with inductive reasoning is conjecture. And a lot of science starts out with inductive starting, but then you have to go to deductive reasoning if you want to actually get the real answer.
Right. Well, another question too that I often ask theists is so now I just drew a blank. I forgot.
Brain fart? Is it spreading?
Yeah. No, I just had it in my head and it went like that. What's that other question I always ask? Now I can't even remember it. I always ask it, and now I can't remember what it is.
I'm older than you, and I can't remember it either.
Wow. What is that?
Well,
the question I always ask is, where's the bathroom?
Where's the bathroom? That's a good question.
I ask that more as the years go by.
Yeah, because when you gotta go, when you're our age, when you gotta go, there's you gotta go, man. But anyway.
So Paul is officially announcing he's coming out as an atheist.
Who?
Paul Camish.
Paul Cameron?
Camish.
Oh, Camish.
He was with us last week.
He's an atheist now, huh? On top of what else? An ichtheist? Is that how it's called?
Yes.
An atheist with a dash of atheism and a side of agnosticism on.
And Dave asks, what are the properties of God?
What are the
Tax-free.
properties? That which I assign him. The properties of God are that which you assign it. Right?
Yeah.
How else would God have properties if we didn't assign them? How would we know what they were? We wouldn't.
Just made me think of this thing I was reading earlier about God's properties. If the churches paid taxes, how much that would offset the general revenue of the United States. Like if all the churches in the country paid taxes, every American would only have to pay 3% tax instead of like 24, whatever it is we're paying now. Because we've been floating God's properties.
I'm still on the properties.
What's God's property?
The metaphysical properties. I'm thinking of the church properties.
Has anybody seen that movie called The Watchmen?
Yeah.
Right. So you see Mr. Manhattan as he basically turns into a god.
Yeah.
And at the very end of that movie, he's basically like, just, you know, humans are of basically absolutely no interest to him. None.
Yeah.
None. There's a property of a god. It
Yeah.
would have it would fundamentally have no interest in mortal beings. Period.
Yeah, we would be inconsequential. Is that the word?
Yes.
There would, yeah. We're irrelevant.
Exactly.
So that would be like deism.
Yeah, definitely. Deism.
That was my last step before coming out and saying I'm an atheist. It was like, well, you can't really describe God, and God doesn't care about us. He's not going to answer your prayers, and it's a short little hop from that point.
Yeah. Well, you know, I never appealed to a God for anything. I can't remember in my entire life ever appealing to a God for anything. So, and I never did that. What you did was make a leap from one thinking to another. It just never occurred within me. I'm curious to see how many people live that way. Because I have siblings who are religious,
Right.
and who believe in this, Christian God. And why is it that they get brought into it, and me, from raised in the same family, I'm not? How does that happen? And I think it all has to do with what's going on up here, and the things you're exposed to at a young age, indoctrination, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have a sister, I have two sisters and a brother, so I have three siblings. My brother's not religious at all, but he still is a Christian. My two sisters are both Christian. My mother is a Christian. She's still alive. My father was a Protestant, converted to Catholicism, and he's now deceased, so he's out of the picture. So those three siblings remained Christian from what they were shown, and yet I was shown the same things and I rejected it. And it's like, what's going on? I mean, if there is a God who's got plans and he's making these plans. He's obviously constructed a plan where my siblings are believing these things and I'm believing something different. Now, if there's a plan involved in that, that has nothing to do with me. I didn't create it, right?
Okay, no, you didn't.
So if then that is it my fault that I don't believe?
No.
No.
No. And if the plan is made outside myself, I can't control that because I can't control things that are outside. You know, like I can't control things that are like that. I have no control over that. So that's another contradiction that I see, you know. But I don't know.
Well, my brother is a Mormon.
Your brother?
Yeah, my brother is a Mormon,
Uh-huh.
which is even wackier than.
You just decided to become Mormon one day? It's not like it was a cultural thing in your family?
No, he married into it, so
Okay.
it was a cultural thing for him, for his wife's side of the family.
I'll be right back.
Where's you from?
I
you
think
say?
it's supposed to say R.
Where are? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
They are pretty close to each other, those two
It-
E's.
it's the pressure. It's the pressure too.
What pressure?
I'm from Long Island, New York.
It's the barometric pressure.
Could be. I know when the barometric pressure changes, I feel awful. I just feel awful. Everything starts to creak.
I don't want to come over there.
Come on.
Look at me. Stop.
Come on.
What's Carter saying? What is he trying to tell me?
I just went and paid my rent.
Okay.
Believe me, I enjoy paying my rent, which may seem kind of funny, but I really do enjoy paying my rent. Does anybody get that?
Oh, I like paying my rent.
You do?
Well, it's property tax. Pay it once a year.
Oh, property tax.
Yeah.
Well, I rent this room.
I rent.
But I have.
I rent the land from the county.
You rent the land? Don't you own it?
I own the house.
Uh huh.
The house is mine,
Right.
but the land still belongs to the county, and they tax me.
Right. That's what the property tax is.
Right.
I pay property taxes, but I technically don't own my land. My land is owned by the United Methodist Church. I live on a camp meeting center, which is owned by the church. I still pay property taxes somehow, but I'm on a 99 and a half year lease, which I'm 19 years through.
99?
99 year lease, yeah. Which I guess
Wow.
is, I think it's self-renewing in case you pass the land down to your heirs. But yeah, everybody in my community, everybody in my town, technically their land is owned by the Methodist Camp Meeting Association.
Where do you live? What city? I mean, where?
Ocean Grove, New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Joyzy.
And me, Joyzy, and you're on Long Island.
Yep.
Long Island.
Long Island. Gotta put that G in. You're an official Long Island.
We have to get together someday and have some coffee.
Coffee. I'm from Staten Island originally. 5 boroughs. The 5 boroughs. New York was a killer, man. It was so expensive, and it was always fast paced, and it's just one heck of a town, boy. You got to have a lot of money to live in New York City.
Yeah, there's a lot of working homeless.
Oh yeah, lots.
They got jobs and they're living in their cars.
That's right. I mean, I rented an apartment, a studio apartment. It was one room with a galley type kitchen and a bathroom with a shower stall. So one room with a bed in it for $1,200 a month. That's
Wow,
not including utilities.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of those places. They have a little Murphy bed up in the wall. You pull your bed out of the wall at night.
Yeah, well, I wish it had a Murphy bed. It would have given me more room. But yeah.
Morton's figured this out.
What's more insane?
Morton knows the secret.
CG,
Ooh.
computer generated. It's all CG, CGI. CGI. I didn't see the I.
Oh. Oops.
Somebody the other day on Twitter, I guess they were talking about cloning or something, but somebody said the GC community, and I wasn't sure what that was. I think it had something to do with genetics.
CGI. CGI. Yeah, what's that? CG community.
GC. All I could think of was like golf course, guitar center. I couldn't put GC together.
Gender critical, Dave said. Critical of what?
Could be. Critical, who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms that float around, and everyone thinks everyone knows them.
Yeah, it's probably a really obvious one that I just didn't put together.
Like, you know, the acronym ICE?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
right? In case of emergency? ICE? In case of emergency? We have a bulletin, like a whiteboard on the refrigerator, and on the refrigerator I see we put lists of things we need to buy. Groceries. I see on the bottom of the list ice and a phone number. I'm like, oh, is that where you get ice?
I used to work at a job where we talked about everything in acronyms, and it was just like, oh yeah, must be the TMI between the CMCU is screwed up. And it was like try to teach a person all the acronyms. You know, you walk through, and you say that's the CMCU. And you go over and you go, that's the TMI. And over there, that's the RDMS. And over there, And this section is the MCTSI. And it was like, I got a person where I would walk him through. I was supposed to be teaching him. And as it turns out, he was totally unteachable. Totally unteachable. Totally.
Really?
Yes. This is the guy who, when he went to install a telephone, they gave him a truck with a bucket. and they tell you certain things about when you go to a customer's, home, all right, you do not park in the customer's driveway. You just don't do it. So what does he do? He parks in the customer's driveway. They
Right.
say, whenever you park a truck, park it so that when you get into it, when you're about to leave, all right, you only go forward, if at all possible. So what does he do? He goes right into the customer's driveway instead of backing it. Right?
So now he has to back out, right?
Right, now he has to back out. Which is why they tell you, if at all possible, if you have to use the customer's driveway, back it in. So that when you drive out, you can see where you're going.
Yeah, it helps.
Then he took, and instead of, routing the wire from the pole, right, to the box on the side of the house, he went over the top of the roof. He ran the wire, and he stapled it into the roof with these 1.5-inch staples.
He's a knucklehead.
He said it must have looked awful.
Well, not only that, the company had to pay to replace the customer's roof
Oh God.
because he punched so many holes in it. Right? Then when he left, he backed out, right? And he hit a car across the street. So they had to pay for a totally unrelated person's damage to their car.
So an installation of a single phone cost the company like $20,000
Yeah.
when it's supposed to cost the customer. Now, I guess that guy didn't have much of a future.
Oh no, they sent them to where I was working. Told me to train him. Because they couldn't have him at that job anymore.
Lucky you.
He failed upwards.
Wow.
He failed upwards?
He failed upwards. It happens. It happens all the time in big companies. People fail upwards. They do something wrong, totally screw something up, and they get promoted.
Go figure. I don't get that.
Hey, they found one guy who actually went into a switch, was so drunk, he pulled out all the cards, hundreds of cards from the switch. And when they found him, he was blasted off his ass with hundreds, and he was sitting in the pile of the hundreds of cards that he pulled out of the switch. Just like,
What's going on there?
and they made him management after that.
Management material.
Yes, they made him management.
Wow.
He could be president.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's right. He's future president.
what happened to Joan?
You're only
John.
sick.
Oh, poor Joan.
Oh. Well, soon, John.
Feel better, Joan.
I'm totally missing the chat.
Yeah, it's okay. We got it.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Oh, where's my list?
I just installed a new graphics card in my computer.
Oh,
Yeah, I spent money I shouldn't have on a brand new graphics card. So I'm happy though.
that's what counts.
Yeah, I figured it's only money, right?
Yeah. But the same money can't buy happiness.
Well, it's I'm happy. It's not because I bought the card. It's happy because of the performance. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I don't believe in that buying happiness stuff. And Critical Cripple has heard all the answers to that question. I'm sure. He can buy happy drugs, he says. Happy drugs. Yeah, I don't believe in that. You can buy happiness. I think that's an illusion.
That's
illusory.
Yeah. That's a bunch of BS.
Which card is it? Oh, it's the 2080 Ti.
Ooh.
So there. Yeah, I had a $100 gift certificate given to me, and it was on my Amazon account. And then I had a rebate, and then I had when I bought this chair, and I had purchased an actual Herman Miller chair it was like $775, and it was not available. So they sent me back some of my money, and I put that money on my what's that? Well, I used some of that money to pay for the card, so that's how I got it. So I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. So you saved up for it?
Well, no,
No.
well, I did in a way. I did.
Yeah.
I had monies that I had accrued previously, which I guess were saved.
Mm.
And yeah, so I guess you could call it saved. I did
Yeah.
save. In a
Kind
way,
of
yeah.
saved. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I just sort of shifted the money around, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But there was money sitting in my Amazon account for a while, and I just never used it.
Yeah.
So, which was given to me. Yeah. And then I got the stimulus from the government, which added extra money. So, I was pretty much I had to get that graphics card
Yeah.
because I want to be able to play all those AAA games,
Oh.
Yeah. If I want to play a AAA game, I can. I can go and play any game in the world that is for PC. I can download it, install it, and play it. So I don't have to worry about, will my PC run this game? No, my PC will run every game.
Okay.
You do games a lot?
Not really. I'm getting older and slower, and my reflexes aren't as good, and my eyesight's not so great. So gaming isn't something that is kind of like that fun anymore. because it's more frustrating than fun now. Because I'm too slow. Geo, for the next 6 weeks. What's he talking about? I only play a few games, but I like to test out new games. Like if new games come out and go, wow, hey, that looks interesting. I'd like to check that out. At least I can do it now. Before it was like I can't even attempt to try and install and play this game because my graphics card won't do it.
Alright, now it's leaving. Bye.
You can play the AAA games for the next few weeks. I can.
Or the graphics card is obsolete.
Oh, well, the 2080 isn't going to be obsolete for a while, but I know what you're talking about, Dave. That's right. That's why I call myself an enthusiast, a PC enthusiast. I just upgraded my RAM too. I added an extra 16 gigabytes. I bought a 32 gigabyte kit and installed it. Because what I had in the system was the RAM from the previous system, which was not matched to the motherboard. So the motherboard was giving me memory errors every time I booted because it was not matched to the motherboard. It was not tested by the manufacturer and was not on the support list. So I was running memory that wasn't on the support list on the motherboard, and it was constantly giving me memory errors every time I booted the PC. So I said, man, the heck with this. I went and bought a 32 gig kit that was matched to the motherboard, that was supported by the memory support list, that was tested by the manufacturer of the motherboard, and slapped it in there. And now everything is hunky-dory, no more memory errors. And now I have an extra 16 gigabytes. So instead of running 16, I now have 32.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go for 64?
Because I didn't want to spend $300.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, I didn't. My board supports 64, but I don't really need it.
Huh.
I don't render videos that often, and I don't do. I do a lot of graphics work, so that comes in handy. It comes in handy for that. So if I was doing more video rendering, I think I would have gone. If I was doing exclusively video rendering, I think I would have went with 64 gigs, and then I would benefit from a CPU which has more cores, but I have a 4-core, an i7 7700K, which is a super duper, really great CPU. It's a little old, but it's still good.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, well, it's only 4 cores and 4 threads with eight threads, so I'm happy with it. But it's a boost clock. It has a very high boost clock, and run on the same, at the same frequency. So thing's a beast, man. You had a question, Linda, a while ago, something about your computer. You asked me, this was, I don't know, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
I'll have to open up and move it over.
Yeah, you got Amiga here. I don't know, Shadow Kitty. Do you know about computers, Shadow Kitty?
I know how to break them and crash them.
Yeah,
You know,
it was something about the GPU and the CPU temperature.
oh, that's right. You asked about the temperatures.
I got them up right now.
Mm-hmm.
The GPU is 62 degrees.
Right. Okay.
And the CPU is 70 degrees Celsius. Should I put it over in Fahrenheit? Let's see. Fahrenheit.
No, do Celsius.
Because I did. That was the first numbers.
Well, that's. I think that's pretty good. Not bad. Since
So
you're, huh? Go ahead,
What's,
Amiga.
what's the problem?
No problem. Just
Well, she's. I think you're worried more. Is that too high? Should it
Yeah.
be lower? No, I think you're about right. What CPU is it? Do you know? Is it an AMD CPU?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Now,
No,
are
Dave
you?
Dave says 62 is fine.
Yeah, that's with the load. That's good temperature, actually.
Yeah.
That's the GPU.
That's GPU,
Mm.
and the CPU is at 72. Did you say?
It goes from 70 to 73.
Under load,
We're just shopping.
Junk
that's
shop.
fine.
Are we
Yeah,
jump
that's
shop?
fine. Those good temps for when
Oh.
you're running. Yeah, when you're running load, that's good temps.
Okay.
Like when you're idle, you should be at like 30, 40 something, 39,
So
40.
when nothing is running.
Yeah, if you just turn the computer on and let it sit and check your temps, it should be somewhere around 30, 39-ish, 40s, somewhere in the low 40s, high 30s. At the lowest, maybe 32, but it has to do with the ambient temperature, like the temperature in your room.
Mm.
Usually the CPU and the GPU run slightly higher than ambient, and with the load that tacks on an extra added number to the
Okay.
temps. So your temps can be anywhere from 7 to say 15 degrees higher than ambient at idle, and even higher once you put a load on. So your temps are actually doing pretty good. And the other factor is cooling. What you're using to cool the CPU
Mm-hmm.
has an effect on what the temps are. Now, if you're using the stock cooler, you might be able to get better performance by using an aftermarket cooler or like a larger type cooler, or if you're using a water cooler, to maybe go with something.
Water.
Or go with water cooling, but I don't suggest going with water. Air is where it's at, man. Air
Mhm.
cooling so much easier.
I guess my computer could use a bigger cooler.
Go in there. Make sure it's got those thermal heat pipes in it.
Yeah.
What?
The heat pipes.
Heat pipes. What about them?
Well, you want to get a cooler that's rated for your CPU, but aftermarket coolers are generally better than stock coolers. So if you add a aftermarket cooler to your setup, you'll probably see maybe anywhere from 5 to maybe 8 degrees in temperature improvement, possibly, which I don't know if that's worth it to you. So, I think if you're running, the temperatures you're running at are actually pretty good. So I think you're doing okay, even with the stock cooler.
Okay.
Morton, use a. I used a Corsair unit that came with 3 fans, bolted right to the radiator. It was a completely sealed unit. Used it for years. Never had any problems with it. No maintenance, and it just worked.
Yeah, well, that introduces another failure point, which there is a failure point anyway. If you're just using air cooling, the failure point is the fans. But with the water cooling, the failure point is the pump. Yeah, right, is the pump. And if that goes, you can't. What are you going to do if that goes? You can't just change a fan, right? You have to shut down the whole system and get a whole new cooler.
I upgrade.
Right? Yeah, you have to upgrade.
I upgrade.
But if you have a failure, but if you have a failure with air cooling, it's normally the fan.
Mm.
Now, if you have a fan handy, you could change it out, and you can even run the system without a fan. So there's an advantage to going air.
Yeah.
But either way, but water cooling is fun, and it is so nice. It is very aesthetically pleasing. But those Noctuo air coolers, man, those things are a beast.
But like
Yeah.
Dave says, it runs much cooler on water. Because I used the machine that I use it on it was a Core i7 with 6 cores, and I used to do a lot of video transcoding, and I would just peg all 6 cores,
Yeah.
right, and the thing would just, it was like, okay.
Uh-huh. Well, that's right. I have an i7 7700K. It's got 4 cores, 8 threads.
Oh.
That's hyper threading. And when I render a video, all the cores are pegged. All the cores. So, yeah.
I just found out I got an explanation for some colors.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My
What?
my numbers are green, that's good.
Morton is being pedantic to me.
Go to moderate. What?
Morton,
What is he doing?
he says liquid cooling to me, and that's not water cooling.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right, because it's some kind of glycol solution that's in the.
It's liquid, yeah.
It's liquid, but
It's not water. It's something else.
Mm.
Yeah. We stand corrected, Morton.
in Morton.
I think he understood that. Hey, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. You guys give me a few minutes
Okay.
and not kick me out.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. So he turns off the mic, and then he talks.
Yeah, you can. I'm saying you can stare at my unmade bed as I go outside and smoke.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not good.
No, it isn't.
No. Oh.
Pop some credit in there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking step. Hey,
Oh.
how do we? We don't.
What are you? What?
No, I'm just my brain. My brain. You know, it's all those years of fixing problems, fixing other people's problems.
Ah.
You get into that mindset of, you know, how do I fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just can't.
No. Oh. Ooh, sorry.
So, let's see who else.
Are you talking to yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I do that from time to time.
Yeah, I do that too.
Really? What do you say to yourself?
Lots of stuff.
Such as?
Yeah. Problem solving.
Problem
know?
solver. That's what I did. I was a problem solver.
Yeah. If I got a problem, I talk to myself about it.
Should I ask Morton what you talk to yourself about?
You could try.
Morton? What does Linda talk to herself about? No.
No. Yeah, that's right. Joan says it makes my thoughts more clear. Yeah. Oh. Oh my. Now I've started, then I can't stop yawning.
I'm not gonna yawn.
Mm.
Wait a minute.
Are you not gonna yawn? Am I not gonna yawn? Who's not gonna yawn?
I got where the hell is it? This is supposed to be TMI.
Yeah. If you
Hey,
got
you guys.
So
Sorry.
on my channel, in the discussion,
yeah. Oh. What's there?
you'll take a look. It's an old list I put up.
Okay. I'll just
Also-
interrupt the stream for a short while. There we go.
Oh,
Bum. Well, you should be right here. Yeah, there we go. Discussion.
Morton saw my video of the chair assembly.
yeah, I saw it too.
Oh, you did?
Oh, boy, that's a long list.
Yeah, that's all that would fit. Did you know that there's a maximum to the amount of stuff that you could put in a comment on YouTube, and then it just stops?
Yeah, it's 200 characters.
No, in the comments section, not in the chat.
Oh, in the comment. No, I didn't know there was a limit. Is there a limit?
There is a limit.
Oh. Oh, you put the link in. Thank you, Morton. That's this chair right here. Yeah. You know what I did with the other chair? The other chair, there's nothing wrong with it. It was just old, and it past its time. So I just put a sign on it: "Need new home ASAP." And I put it out in the front yard, and someone took it. So hey,
Later, Joan.
it's got a second life. The chair is getting a second life.
Good.
Shadow Kitty, what's he doing?
Oh, bye-bye, Joan.
Bye,
and-
Joan.
Hi, bee.
Yeah, let's get B in here.
There's a bee. Bzzzt.
Beep 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 beep.
I like B.
Bee.
I like B.
Ooh.
Hey, did you guys see the picture I posted in the loony bin?
The Amiga Nuts one?
the Amiga
Yeah, the
nuts. Yeah.
Did you like that? I had fun making that.
Oh, you made it.
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I
made
didn't
it.
know that. I just
Yeah.
thought you found
And
two
then we had
pictures.
then we had a little discussion about my nuts.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I share my screen? I can share it.
Let me just see.
Or you can share it. Can you share it?
Yeah, just a sec.
Show the people the photo.
You can share your screen.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I gotta find it. I put it in my ping files.
Linda.
Yeah. What?
Linda.
Yeah. What Amiga? What Amiga?
He
Wait.
says, I'm bored. Want another panel member, Linda?
Yeah. There we go. Yes. Ta-ta.
Amiga Nuts.
Yep.
That's my desktop. I made this wallpaper.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, how do I unshare?
I
Stop
can do
screen.
that. There we go.
I got it. Yes. As soon as I met Amiga, I said, "That's the name of a computer."
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, why did he tack nuts on the end of a name of a computer?
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
a good question. Why did you do that, Amiga?
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't have to answer
No.
that.
Yes, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, fair
That's
enough.
okay.
You don't have to have an answer.
Oh, Dave.
What did Dave do? Oh, I got the wrong chat. There we
Oh, Dave.
go.
Dave knows what he
Mhm.
He had to give the wink afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's B.
What? B? I don't know where B is.
No, Mel says, he says, oh, well, I might as well take my shirt off and smoke a bowl. Well, he could have done that while he was talking to us. Just turn off the camera. Come on, B. Waiting for you.
So I went. I bought a camera at Walmart. I was in Walmart, and it was one large Logitech camera on the shelf. So I freaking bought it.
Way.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Crazy
Hello.
fuckers doing.
B.
Bee. Well, usually when people see me, they go bee. So
Yeah.
I write bee sometimes. Yeah, all of it. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
I like the chopped off hair. That is awesome. I'm so ready to do that. I'm so sick of hair. I hate hair. I just hate
Yeah,
it.
I got kind of tired of the hair I had, so I thought, off with it.
No, it looks good.
Let me just start
Looks good.
over.
It takes big balls to do that. Good for you.
Nuts, big nuts.
Yeah, like amigas.
Gotcha.
Big, large nuts. Kind of like Dave's ball,
Big kahuna.
but not the poppable kind.
No.
Yeah, you got to really carry them around, man. It requires
Yeah.
a very large jock strap. Linda uses a double D bra.
Ooh.
She uses for her nuts.
What's that? Man?
Hi, amiga.
Was
Huh?
the man spreading?
What?
Every time I sit down, I have to, like, open my legs to make a little room.
Oh, man spread. Yeah.
Man spread.
Okay. No, I don't have that problem.
Me neither.
I wonder
Every time
why.
I lay down in bed, I have to take my bra off, though, and that sucks.
Yeah, but you have the same issue, but it's a little further up. It's a,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's the
But-
intelligent design body. From,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. That's why we have one heart, and two kidneys, and two lungs, and one brain. Yep. Highly intelligent design.
Yeah.
I've always wondered about that. Why don't we have two hearts? Next to the brain, it's the most important part of the body, but we only have one. We should have a backup that when this one fails, that one kicks in and it's brand new.
Yeah. That would be
Hey, man.
practical.
Save a lot of lives.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you think about it, we'd be really overpopulated.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't know. We figure enough ways to kill ourselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my.
I mean, it only took us how many years to start building artificial ones. So yeah. How are you, Gio?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. I'm doing okay. I'm still angry.
That's
but
why I
I'm,
like Gio. He doesn't have a lot of hair either. Yep, there it is.
I used to have a lot of hair. I used to have really long hair, long red hair.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a ginger, but
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you don't look very gingerish anymore.
no, I'm not very gingery. Although,
My ex-father-in-law. I'm sorry, what?
but yeah, the carpets don't match the drapes any longer. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, actually.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
I wouldn't know. I remove the carpet all the time, so I don't know. That has changed.
Okay.
Because fuck that. That's irritating shit. My ex-father-in-law used to say that he never lost his hair. It just migrated onto his chest and his back and his beard.
Hmm.
Okay.
'Cause he was bald as hell up top and his chest and his back got hairier. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I have no hair on my chest. I'm completely bare. You want to see? No.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Mm.
Not interested at all. Sorry.
Hey, I lost 50 pounds. I'm looking good, man.
Did you? Good for you. I gained like
Yeah.
30, so
Oh.
I found part of it. Who has the rest? Anybody in the chat have the rest of that?
Not me.
We want to
Not
give it
me.
back to Gio. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it.
But it happened gradually. You know, it wasn't like I set out to lose weight.
Woohoo.
It just sort of happened gradually because of the way I changed my eating habits.
Oh, is it about what you eat?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
was
I'll lay off that
surprised too.
half bag of snack size Hershey at night then.
Oh, see, no. I
So
cut
what,
out. Huh?
What do you eat?
What do I eat?
Food?
Well, I don't. I'll tell you. I eat
We hope.
basically. I eat basically one main meal a day, but I snack throughout the day. As I get hungry, I snack periodically throughout the day to keep my appetite in check, and then I have one main meal every day, and that's it. But it's actual food, you know. It's vegetables and meats and grains, and it's all real food. It's not crap. It's not junk. Like, it's not packaged food.
What is this
Oh.
vegetables you speak of? No, I'm only kidding.
I would
Vegetables.
die.
All these things. What is a vegetable? Yeah. So
we used to call it
instead
veggie tables growing up.
Yeah.
of- right. Yeah. But instead of eating cookies, crackers, potato
Cookie-
chips,
Mm.
junk.
Great, now I want
pretzels.
potato chips.
Yeah. No, I don't go and
And
buy
cookies.
Thanks, Geo.
And crackers.
I eat actual food.
Ice cream.
I eat actual
Oh, I'm
food.
out. Shut up, Linda.
I haven't got any either.
I eat nuts. Amiga nuts. not
Amiga.
I don't
I'm
eat Amiga
anti-nuts. Unless they come from a tree. Then I love nuts, actually.
Right.
But they can also be high in fat.
Yeah, but they also contain the good fats.
Good fat. Yeah.
The good cholesterols balance out
Yeah.
the bad cholesterols. So it kind of balances out. But I also eat fruits, a lot of fruits instead of candies, and a lot of just vegetables as snacks, like carrots. I dunk them in some sour cream or something like that, or some kind of, and I just eat them raw.
That sounds good.
Yeah, like you can eat a whole stalk of celery, like a whole bushel of celery, and not be hungry.
Bushel.
and-
That's a lot of celery, man. That's
Well, like
like,
one-
15
like one-
stalks. I mean, 15
one sack,
packs
like
of
one sack. Like you can eat a whole sack of celery
yeah.
in one sitting, and it's not going to kill you. You know, it's and it's good for you.
It's true.
It's
And what-
mostly
It's true. Yeah.
it's
Martin
mostly
Luther
You get a lot of those
King.
little things in your teeth, but it won't kill you otherwise, right?
yeah. What, Amiga?
I was telling Morton to leave my nuts out of this.
Yeah.
But they have good cholesterol and they're high in good fat.
Yeah.
Are they
No.
really?
Ricardo just eat babies? Medium rare? Hmm.
And someone even posted on the internet that it cures COVID.
Yours what?
COVID.
COVID?
COVID.
Oh. Can't believe I said that. I can't believe I said that. I'm sorry. What's COVID?
What's COVID? I wish I could say that. I'm so sick of wearing a mask at work. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So people were saying, they were saying on Twitter, it doesn't hurt to wear a mask, and I have trouble breathing, and I couldn't figure out why. But I spent my entire life on the East Coast, basically. I lived in Oregon for like 3 months, but it was closer to the water, so I wasn't like up high. And now I'm at 75, almost 8,000 feet, and I figured out that's why. I'm not used to it yet. I've only lived here a few months.
Mm-hmm.
So wear the mask.
Huh?
Still wear the mask though.
Oh, I have to. I would lose my job. It's mandated. So I bought one of these. I actually just bought this yesterday. I haven't tried it out yet. It's one of those copper fit ones. And it's really long, though, and I'm afraid it's going to get hot around my neck because I sweat my ass off at work. So I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'll have 2 of them. And you could breathe through this better. And it's not really a mask, but it's considered a face covering, so you can get away with it.
Mm.
What is that, like a baklava? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Well, balaclava. But
Oh.
close. It's not a dessert.
A baklava.
That's a
What the
dessert.
hell- What's a baklava?
It's dessert. It has like nuts and caramely sugar stuff and little
I just
thin
put
wafers.
I put baklava on my face. I cover my face with baklava.
Yes. I have a face covering. It's baklava.
It's a Greek pastry, says
Yeah.
Brainbug.
Yes,
Brainbug?
Greek. That's right. Thank you,
No
Brainbug. I
shit.
couldn't think of
Oh.
for the life of me who makes that, but God, that's good shit.
Baklava. So the thing you wear on your face is called a what?
Balaclava.
Balaclava.
Balaclava, I believe.
And the Greek pastry is baklava.
Yeah. So somebody just stuck an extra A and L in it. That's really, it's spelled almost exactly the same way.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yep. No, Steve Ricardo, I don't eat babies because I've heard that the hair and the teeth are, one gets stuck in your teeth, the other one can break your teeth, so I just avoid that.
Hmm.
Just go get a good steak.
Yeah.
It's true. And Gio made me realize that I have not eaten yet today, so now I'm fucking hungry. Thank you, Gio. Now I want carrots to dip into the dip with my potato chips
Gee,
while I'm eating baklava. That's what I want now.
can you guess what this is?
You do what?
What are you doing, amiga?
I think
A
he's eating
butter-
chips.
It's a Butterfinger.
Ah, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah. I haven't eaten a piece of candy in, years. I haven't had a piece of candy, an actual piece of candy, in so many years. I can't even remember the last time I had a piece of candy.
I ate 2 little mini snack-sized Kit Kats last night. That's how long it's been for me. Whew. I don't know how much longer I can wait.
I had spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay, Ricardo, that's just sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat pasta. I don't eat pasta any longer. I cut pasta out completely. I love pasta and breads. I cut breads out completely. And I love breads.
Oh,
I like to bake my own bread, make it from scratch, and it is so good. It's like to die for, this bread. And
what's
I
it
can't
like to have that kind of time?
believe. Well, I've been retired. I'm retired, and
Oh,
I
I'm
have
just
nothing to-
tired. I'm not retired yet. I'm just tired.
Is retired when you're tired with tired on it?
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's tired with tired on top. Right. I guess I am kind of retired.
I don't work.
I've been working so much. My boss literally told me, I said, I'll come in tomorrow and help for like 4 or 5 hours. She said, take the day off. And I said, no, we got so much to do. She said, I got it. And I said, no, I feel bad. I'll definitely. She's like, stay home. You need a break. After I almost killed that kid that punched me in the throat. But anyways, different story. But the point is, I was having a shitty week.
Back up.
Nope. Does anybody want to hear that story? It's ridiculous, but it's absolutely the truth.
In the throat.
Okay, so we call it Code 13 at my store anytime a thief comes in. And then we like stalk them and watch them and see if they're going to steal. And if they steal, we kick them out, get the stuff back. If they don't, we let them go on with their lives. But anyway, so I was having a really shitty day. Like, explode, literally. It happens to me about every 4 to 6 months usually, and it's been about 10 months since I've had a meltdown, so I was really overdue. It's like a PTSD thing. The medication only helps so much. So I'm at work and I call code 13, and I walked up front and said, "Where is he?" Because I was just ready to kick somebody's ass, honestly. So I start following him, and I'm walking like 6 or 7 feet behind him. And I'm like, "Excuse me, can I help you find anything?" He said, "No, I'm good." And he's like walking, like shaking his ass. He's like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." He's one of those really, really girly man. So I just keep walking behind him. And he's like, "Stop following me." And I said, "I'm not following you. I'm just giving you really good customer service. So, sir, is there anything I can help you find? I know where everything is in the store." And he keeps walking, and he goes, "Stop following me." I said, "I'm just walking through my store. I can walk. It's free country. I can walk through my store." So he starts recording me on his phone, and I said, "That's illegal." And he said, "Leave me alone, you fucking bitch." And I said, "It's illegal. You're not allowed to record me without my consent, and I'm not consenting. You need to turn that off." And he's still holding the phone up, so I went to put my finger over top of the camera, and he pulled the phone back and said, "Don't fucking touch me." I said, "I didn't touch you. I told you it's illegal for you to record me. I was covering up the camera because it's illegal. I have a right to do that." So he pulls his phone up again, and I went to clamp my finger over it like this so he couldn't pull it away from me. And he switches phones with his hands, and he punches me in the neck right here. And acted like he's all big and bad for a second until I went after his ass. And I jumped up in his face and put my finger in his face. And I said, "You little motherfucker, get the fuck out of my store right now." And I just went, I was gritting my teeth. I was so mad. And my right hand is balled up, and I'm pointing at him with, I was going to deck his ass. To get the fuck out of my store. You picked the wrong fucking day to walk in here and fuck with me. So he's walking out of the store, and I thought, okay, we're done with this. I restrained myself. You know, I was a good girl. I didn't fucking clobber his ass. And he gets to the door. He's about 8 or 10 feet ahead of me. And he yells, "You fucking dyke," and he runs. And I was like, oh, hell no, that was it. Final straw. So I go after him, and this girl I work with, I call her T. She's 1.5 inches taller than me and about 80 or 90 pounds heavier than me, at least. And so she grabs me, and I had told my boss on a previous occasion that, because she had said, "Beth just needs to kick somebody's ass and she'll be fine." And I said, "It's true. I really just need to kick somebody's ass." So I told her on a previous occasion, if one of these homeless guys ever like pulls a knife on me or anything, I'm going to beat his ass. Just clock me out right before it started, and then I'll just be off the clock. And so she was like, "Whatever." So T's yelling, "Nancy, clock her out. I can't stop her. She's getting loose." So my glasses fall to the ground. I look down and go, "Oh, I don't want my glasses stepped on." I was like, fuck it. So I break free from her. I run out the door. We have 2 sliding glass doors, 2 sets of them. Grab the first one or second one in my hand, launch myself around the door, and I'm across the parking lot chasing his ass. And by this time, because she stopped me for like 20 seconds, he's way ahead of me. He's like 100 feet, 150 feet ahead of me. So I'm just yelling at him, "You little fucking cocksucking little prick. I'll beat your fucking ass. Don't you ever come back on my goddamn property again." And he goes, "You fucking dyke." And I said, "Yeah, I'm a fucking dyke, and I'm fucking proud of it. Fuck you." And I'm like yelling. There's all these customers around. There's 10, 12 customers in line. There's like 8 or 10 of them walking in the door, and I'm yelling this shit. And I just walked back in casually, and I said, "And that's what happens when you try to steal something and you punch somebody in the neck." And like, fuck that little dude, man. It didn't even hurt, honestly. I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what, but I didn't even give a fuck. I was like, if you're gonna punch somebody, punch him like a man, you little pussy. Yeah, so that was my Monday. That was Monday. How my Monday went. Pretty much is a story about the entire day. It was just shit. Yeah.
That was this past Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. A fresh.
Yes, Robert.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wow. It's fresh. In your
Yeah,
mind.
I can't believe he did it. Here's the problem, and this is what made me think of it. When you said, "I don't know what COVID is," you said, "What's COVID?" and then you laughed about it. since this has started, the police in our area and almost all of the United States, they're not arresting anybody that's a misdemeanor offense. They're only arresting felons. And these little fuckers know it. So they walk into the stores and they steal shit and they laugh at you on the way out because they know if you call the cops aren't going to do a damn thing to them.
Oh.
And so they're getting braver and braver. 2 weeks ago, they pulled a knife on the girl at the front register so they could walk out with a basket full of shit.
What the?
I mean, they weren't close to her, but 8 feet away or so, and pulled a knife out and said, "Don't fucking come near me, bitch. I'm taking this shit." And she said, "Okay, you can have it." So I carry a knife in my pocket now because I figure, the very least, I'm going to cut them enough that there's a blood trail and the cops can find their ass before I die. Because I'm not going down without you going down with me, asshole. So that's where I'm at with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's get some shit.
So just
throwing stuff. Some of those throwing stuff.
Ooh, I know how to use those.
Shurikens.
That is so. Oh, that's such a good idea. My brother used to have a little black leather case on his hip, and he could just flip them open and pull them out.
B, you are so bad.
Not a bad idea. I don't know. I haven't practiced in a long time. I might hit like a child or something. I don't. Man, no. Maybe that's a bad idea.
You're pretty badass there, B.
I don't know about that. I don't put up with any shit, man. I'm not going to.
That's what I mean.
I've been stomped on my whole life, and I'm not afraid of anybody. Like, literally, I chased a guy out of the store the other day. He was like 6'2", and he pushed me down a hill, and I went after his ass again, and he ran because he was like, "Oh shit, that didn't stop her." Fuck you. You know, because when they steal shit, not only are they stealing shit, and it's fucked up because they're a bunch of. They get so much help here. They make more money than I do in a month. There's no reason for them to steal. I don't steal anything, and I have the best opportunity. I work with money every night, thousands of dollars. You know, and I don't steal. They make more than I do, and they come in our store and steal. And not only that, but every time they steal, they cause the prices of things to go up. So Joe Schmo, who's working his ass off and barely paying his bills, he's got to pay more money for toilet paper now because that fucker's a thief who's getting mailbox money that I pay for. So, fuck them. Pisses me off. It's just all around wrong. There's just nothing right about it.
Yep. Well, people, I think they feel they're entitled for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, they're entitled, all right, to an ass kicking.
Yeah, my son one time, when he was a teenager, I don't know what exactly he told me, but he was upset about something. And I turned around and I told him that he wasn't entitled to anything.
All right.
And the look on his face was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like total shock when I told him that. Just like total shock.
Yeah, they have to think about it for a minute, and
yeah,
and they don't get it. They don't get it right away.
Yeah.
I'm not entitled. Damn, I am not entitled. You're right. It's a surprise.
Yep.
It's like, you're right. You're right. I'm not entitled to anything. Who the fuck did
I've
I
had
think I
friends.
was?
Right. I've had friends whose kids are around my age, and when their kids were growing up, they had toys and nice clothes and all this shit, and the kids would keep acting up and keep doing shit to the point of not only just being bad kids, but doing stuff that were going to hurt them. So I had one friend in particular. She took everything out of the room, even the bed frame, left a mattress on the floor, and left 10 changes of clothes in the closet. And the kid was like 8 years old. Hey, you can't take my stuff away. By law, I am required to provide you with a roof over your head, your own room, a place to sleep, and food and clothes, and you have all that. You don't need any of this fun stuff. You don't get it anymore. So she made him literally earn everything back. He had to behave for so long, do all of his chores, and then after like a week of not doing anything wrong, doing all his chores, everything time he did a chore or he did something he was supposed to do, he earned one thing back. And she literally did it like, she started out with like, here's one Lego man. Like that's what she did.
Oh.
And within 2 years, that kid's attitude was not even 2 years, probably 10 months. Within a short period of time, that kid's attitude was totally changed because he had to earn all that shit. Because that's one of the problems we have in America. We spoil the shit out of our children because we think that makes us look like a good parent. You know, we have to be a good parent. We have to do this and this and this, that, and we have to spend $500, $1,000 on them at Christmas, and we have to. We don't have to do any of that. What we have to do is raise a responsible adult. And if you're not doing that and you're spoiling the shit out of your children, you're literally fucking our future society. So that's what's wrong these days. We think as Americans that we have to spoil the shit out of them in order to be considered a good parent. And that's not in the formula. My mom worked it out. That's not in the formula. We didn't have shit as children. And she raised all of us by herself because my dad was in the Navy. And then when he got home from the Navy, within a couple of years, she kicked his ass out because he was an alcoholic cheater. So she raised us by herself. And there's one of us that's an asshole out of the 7 to this day. So I'm thinking that she did a damn fine job, and we weren't spoiled with toys. If we wanted to play with something, we could go find some sticks and rocks outside. We each got one small toy for Christmas, and that was it every year because she didn't have the money. She would have bought us all kinds of stuff if she had the money, but I'm glad she didn't. Because we didn't grow up entitled. We grew up realizing if you want shit, you got to fucking work for it. We went out in the garden with her every day, and we weeded the garden, and we picked our own food. And let me tell you how good that food tasted, because we fucking grew it ourselves and we earned it. And that's what I think's wrong with the average kid today. They're spoiled rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoil my
My
kids.
opinion.
You spoil your kids, Amiga?
I spoiled them a little bit.
But you did it. I think
Well,
you did it.
Until one day when I got home, and they were literally, my daughter and my oldest son were actually punching holes in the house over time on the computer. And then what I did was I had an Amiga 2000 with a couple of Ariadne LAN cards, and I took from the router, I ran it through those cards, downloaded some software, and everything had to go to the Amiga computer to give them access to the internet. And I set it up that every day that computer would only have so much time. Started off with 5 minutes, right? Stop for 5 minutes, and it would come on for 5 minutes, stop for 5 minutes, come on for 5 minutes, and they worked it out. And every day I would come home, they weren't fighting, I increased it by 5 minutes. So I give them 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes off, and then 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes off, and then 10 minutes. And they actually started to share, and the fighting ended.
Mm.
I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
It's a good solution.
Yeah.
Because they were fighting over the damn computer. It was just like,
Yeah.
why? Share it.
Yep.
My time.
Mhm.
Well, then you get. You know, it took me a couple of days to set it up, but I got it set up. During that time, they had no internet access, and then they got the 5 minutes for each of them.
Yep.
They didn't fight. They come home and they think, all right, go in, change the 5 to a 10, and they really, all three of them, started to share.
My mother, when we were growing up, we had like a little portable TV. It was like a little 13-inch. It was our first color TV. It was like this big. So because it was portable, the cord was removable. So if she knew she was going to be working later than the time we got off the bus and got home, because we had to walk like 1.25 miles to our house from the bus stop. If she knew she wasn't going to be home by the time we got home, she would take the cord with her. Well, there's the entertainment's gone. You better go do your chores and do your homework. And we better have it done when we go home. And if it was done, the cord would go back on the TV and she'd plug it back in. There you go, watch whatever you want. So, yep. And I actually did that. I had had lived at one point in my life in my 20s with my friend who had 2 kids, and she would work nights, and the kids would goof off and they wouldn't do what they were told, and they weren't doing the chores she gave them a list to do. I pulled the cord off the TV, put it in my pocket. Go do your shit. They did it. Cord went back on the TV. It's a great solution. Those kids are not required to have internet and TV for entertainment. That is a luxury. That is something you earn. And if people would do that more with their kids instead of using the TV as a babysitter, their kids would be better children, and they'd also be better adults.
Mm.
Too many people do that shit. Like, only turn the TV on. I see people doing it with their babies. Baby's 2 years old in the shopping cart. They give them their phone. Make them behave. You're not teaching them any discipline. You know, there's no discipline there. Children need structure and discipline in order to grow up to be functioning adults, like good members of society. We all need that.
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't let them stay up till 1 a.m. Put them into bed at the same time every night, 8:30, whatever you want to do. But you have to be consistent with kids.
Yeah, consistency is very important with children, I think. I mean, I'm not a parent.
Structure in general, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, but I think Amiga can attest to that, right? I mean, you're a parent.
Wait, what?
Well, you can attest
That kids need structure and discipline. I mean, structure and consistency.
Yes.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They need those. They need those restraints, and they need to know why they have those restraints.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
my father, I figured out something early on in my childhood, and it was because of my father. If things needed to be done around the house, I just did them. I wasn't asked. Potato chips. I wasn't asked or told to do my chores. I just did them. And when I did them and they were completed, my father would hand me money. And I said, "Oh, okay. I like this exchange." So in order for me to continue to get this to have this exchange available, I had to continue to do things around the house. Now, my other siblings realized that, hey, George is where's George getting all this money from? And they didn't realize that I was doing things around the house, and my father was giving me money for doing them, and I did them because they needed to be done, and no one told me to do them. So my father figured, since I did them without being told or without being asked, he just gave me money. So I was taking the trash out, I was doing dishes, I was mopping floors, I was cleaning bathrooms, I was taking care of the living room, I was vacuuming, I was doing all these things, and everyone's looking at me as, why is George doing all these things? And then when they realize I'm sitting there in the living room reading comic books, and they're like, "Where'd you get the comic books from?" I'm like, "Well, I went to the store. I bought them." I was like, "Well, where did you get the money from?" I'm like, well, I did some things around the house, and Pops gave me $1. And they were like, they jumped up and started doing things. And my father's like, you think you're gonna, I'm just gonna give you money because now you found out what the deal is, that now your hand's gonna be out every time you do something? It's like, guys, you gotta figure out what you're doing. And I was the baby of the family. And I figured this out very early. But my dad was a great man. I think he was anyway.
Yeah.
He was a man of few words. That's for sure.
As much as I enjoy talking to you all, we will have to end.
Oh.
What?
Is it ready?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Morten is about to go to work, and I have to go to bed to get up early in the morning for work.
Oh. We've been here more than over an hour.
Yeah, we've been going for over an hour. B is muted.
I said I hate work.
Yeah.
We should all be on a government subsidy so none of us have to go to work ever and just get the rich people to pay all the taxes.
Yeah.
UBI. 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 UBI.
Okay, does anyone have any last thoughts before we go?
Wear a mask.
Yeah.
Yes, wear a mask and watch secular D&D every Saturday on One Ring's channel. I play D&D with Julie LaVoice and Hesse and One Ring and Santi the Same.
Yep.
Every Saturday.
On Ring's channel.
Show yourselves.
And
I work every Saturday. I always miss it.
And Junk Shop is live in 20 minutes. That's right.
Oh, good.
He's
And
got
then as soon as
a-
Junk Shop's done, we're all going to go over to Math Pigs because he's having an open mic night, open hangout.
I'm going to bed.
So I'm gonna try to get in on that.
Aw,
Okay.
Linda's got to go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
All right.
You be a good disciplined adult and go to bed like you're supposed to, young lady.
Yes. I will.
Thanks for having me on, Linda.
Anytime.
Love you.
Love
Love you
you
guys.
too. And thank you all in the chat.
Bye.
See you on Thursday. Bye.
Bye. Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. You gonna hang up. No, you hang up.
You hang up.
Yeah, you hang up. Bye.
What's that saying? You can't stay here, but you got to go.